ultimately, when Allah says there that those who believe and do righteous deeds, the righteous deeds are the righteous deeds which have been defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not the righteous deeds that other people may come up with, what they consider to be righteous deeds, but those which have been defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because he said, مَا تَرَكْتُ شَيْئًا يُقَرِّبُكُمْ إِلَى اللَّهِ إِلَّا وَأَمَرْتُكُمْ بِهِ. I've not left anything which will bring you closer to Allah without telling you to do it. So it means anybody who comes along and says, well, this is a good deed, this is a righteous deed, this is something which must be pleasing to Allah, like celebrating the Prophet's birthday, for example. Right? Sounds like a good deed. You're celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whose birthday is better to celebrate than his? I mean, the people are celebrating everybody's birthday anyway. So it's at least, look at the Christians, they're celebrating Jesus' birthday. Isn't Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam greater than Jesus? Yeah, that makes sense. We should be celebrating his birthday instead. Right? So, people might logically come up with this. It may sound right, sounds like a good thing. And you're remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by celebrating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's birthday. On that day, we sing the praises of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We read poetry about him. And we might play a little bit of music and do a few other things too. But, all of it is to please Allah. Right? So it may sound like a good thing. For the masses of people, they're attracted. They like festivals and celebrations. And so it sounds and appears very attractive. But the point is that if it were a good thing, a good deed, pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have been the first to tell us to do it. The Sahaba would have been the first to do it. But they didn't. So what does that mean? If we decide to celebrate it, we know better than the Sahaba. Oh, that's dangerous. If we say, no, they knew, but they didn't, well, that's also dangerous. What are you saying? That they knew they were supposed to be celebrating the Prophet's birthday and they didn't do it? Astaghfirullah. That puts you better than them. Again. So, either way, it's unacceptable. You want to ask something?
Yeah, there's a question. What al-Hallaj ibn Arabi, would they consider disbelievers?
Al-Hallaj and Ibn Arabi would be considered to be disbelievers. Yeah.
Do their followers still exist?
Yeah, they're people, sure. I mean, mostly Sufis. Most Sufis, they do have some who don't consider them to be saints or whatever. Ibn Arabi, he claimed he was the seal of the sainthood. Khatamul Awliya. Right? The seal of the sainthood. And according to him, the wali is higher than the prophets. So, what is he saying? So the majority of Muslim scholarship, leading Muslim scholarships from the various schools, they considered him to be a heretic, one who had left Islam.
So there are people who are certainly strong on that.
Yeah, plenty of people who are in the Sufi thing. Many of them, they consider him to be Qutub, one of the leading saints who they will pray to. Al-Hallaj also. These are people who definitely were out of Islam. You have other people who they consider to be saints, who we wouldn't put them in the same category. Like Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, for example. They pray to him also. In times of stress and trial, they will call on him for help. He's called in Pakistan and India, Ghawsi Azam. Al-Ghawth Al-A'zam. This is Allah. Al-Ghawth means the source of help. A'zam means the greatest source of help. You can't give that title to a human being. So, but he is not like Ibn Arabi and Al-Hallaj. No, he was a Muslim scholar in his own time, etc. He was an individual who, avoided a lot of the trappings. He lived a simple life, etc. Anyway, you want to ask something?
The reason for separating from this is because you want to imitate the Muslims.
No, the reason for not celebrating birthdays, or you're talking about birthday of the Prophet? In general. Because birthdays in general, it's not considered ibadah, right? So, in the case of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it becomes ibadah. And that's why it's not acceptable. In the case of the general birthdays, you can say that on one hand, it is imitation of the non-Muslims. It is also an annual celebration. So because even in Arabic, it's called Eid Milad, Eid. And the Prophet ﷺ had said that you only have 2 Eids. When he came to Medina and he found the people celebrating different Eids, he asked them, why are you doing this one, that one, the other one? They explained, we're doing it because of this and that. He said, okay, stop. All of them are cancelled. You only have 2 Eids, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. So Eid means, it comes from Ada. From Ada, Ya'udu means to repeat, to come back again. So you do it every year at the same time. This is an Eid, right? So this is second reason why it's not allowable. Third reason is that its origin was pagan. And this is why for Christians, even Jews don't celebrate birthdays. Orthodox Jews, maybe modern Jews might do it, but Orthodox Jews don't celebrate birthdays. And the only birthdays celebrated mentioned in the Bible are the birthdays of the pagan rulers, Pharaoh and Herod. Yeah. So it was known. Celebration of birthday was a pagan practice. It had pagan beliefs associated with it. Right.
So is it considered haram to celebrate that? Because people get really caught up in it.
Well, if it's not haram, it's at least makruh. I mean, there's enough things against it that it really shouldn't be done. It's not, but if you did it, are you a major sinner? I would say no, because it's not ibadah. It's from ada.
So is it okay to attend? I mean, like at work, you have, like, everybody's there at school, everybody just gathers. So what do we do? Do we eat that food, or? I mean, I'm always...
No, eating the food, anyway, don't go off too much into this, right? Because we open that door, we won't finish our tafsir. But, the point is that, eating the food, because it is not a religious affair, it's different from eating Christmas cake, and eating a birthday cake. Christmas cake is connected to a belief that God became a man, had a son, died on earth, and all the other things that come along with it. Whereas birthday, it's not got those connections. So attending it, I would say the best you do is you try to avoid it as much as possible. You're in your workplace, if you end up being obliged one way or another, it's not a big issue.